That's like the last minute until we start. Here. There you go. This little guy.
When did you pick him up? Yeah, this weekend, yeah?
Yeah, I did. Just was it Sunday? I don't know. I think I messaged.
Yeah. Cool.
1 hour ride, a little vomit, but he made it, you know. He made it. He's a cool lad. The biggest in the group. I think the breeder told me like he tends to like eat everybody else's food. That's why I said like, right, that's my guy, you know. A warrior in the crew. Right. I guess that the streaming is online. Everybody tends to like join. I see also a couple new people. Welcome everybody, the usual people as well. Right. So let's just jump with the important stuff. Firstly, guys, take care with the financial decisions. That's 100% up to you. Fake profiles, be aware of stuff like, hey, give me $1, I give it you back, or approaching to invest into like some weird platform or other than David Tech. The only two methods you can subscribe or join to the group is by Patreon, which is patreon.com/davidtech, and of course our own portal, the david.tech. Those are the two only ways. Welcome everybody to the 24th edition, getting close to 30, which is amazing. Yeah, if you have any other question regarding the subject that I'm talking about, feel free to interrupt. In the end, we have the open mic, the whatever you wish to call it session, when we can discuss about everything related to David Tech. If you have any suggestion, any question, any complaint about something that doesn't work or it should work or something like that, that's why me, David, and William are here to pretty much answer all of your questions and inquiries. Today's topics, which would be the first one, reviewing the December month, and of course the winners and delivering the prizes. February submissions. By now, we started the new method of the Google form. I'll tell you guys, everything seems to be working. Everything is, I mean, I don't see any complication or anything like that. During today, I messaged a couple people which forgot to turn on their sharing on the chart. If they submitted via the TradingView chart, you can also submit via the CSV file. It's a little less work for me to work with the chart link, but it is what it is. I mean, which one is easier for you? I'm happy with it. As long as you fill correctly the coin pair and the time frame, of course, everything is perfect. Another setup had boilerplate version 3, which I kindly asked the user to kind of upgrade to transfer the setup into a core boilerplate version 5. It can easily be done with the optimizer. Just upload the new setting. If the results are different, however, it's a little manual work, like seeing which fields tend to like change a little bit of profit, because for example there are new fields, new defaults, and so on. So it's a little bit of work, however it's manageable. If for some reason it's like not working or something like that, feel free to reply back to me and I'll try doing it for you if it's too complicated. So let's check the December winners, guys. Any drums? Anyone available to put up the drums thingy? Let me try and find it. Open soundboard. That one, yeah. I don't think that's a good one, but still. So here, here is the table with the winners. we have the highest net profit, let's say, over here. Also, guys, some things to note, that the setups had no negative months. I pretty much filtered the core idea of this kind of group to provide is to provide reliable setups. So one thing that could differentiate one setup from another is the months that the setup was active and was, let's say, only positive. And that's something regarding the reliability in the future, and I tend to believe it's very important for a strategy in the long run. So another thing is that prices do accumulate. So for example, if you have more setups, that's more chances to win, and also more chances towards finding something that's again reliable in the long run. So here we have the first three, let's say, net profits earners, which would be the first place, the second place, and the third place. We had one setup which had over 10% on each month net profit. That would be the January and February, because yeah, it was submitted through December. If you guys submitted to be earlier in the December or maybe later, that wouldn't be fair, because we didn't know the performance. Like, it was something mixed between backtesting and live trading. That's why we kind of excluded the December period and just left the whole January and February until, I believe, yesterday evening. So if any trade happened until now, I'm sorry guys, but I really needed to like put everything together as of yesterday in order to be sure that everything will be ready as of now. So as I said earlier, we have the winners on the further right, the, let's say, the top chart net profiters. The just one setup which was over 10% on all the 2 months available. We have close to eight setups that overall January plus February was in profit over 10%. And we also have 4 setups that had positive results within January and February, which is great. The last 4 mentioned are going to get free David as a gift. So for example, if you guys have my contact, feel free to DM me or submit the form directly. I'll give you the password right after it. You are getting the David for free for December. Other than that, yeah, congratulations to the users. There were, I believe, like 40 setups that tended to be like reliable. Like overall, if you count up the February and January, they were profitable. However, to make things more interesting, we only took into consideration this month setups that, for example, proved to be more reliable. So they were positive on both months. As of now, if you guys kind of don't agree with this like approach of putting more importance towards the reliability in the future, like we did now, so the couple months both to be profitable, just let me know. At the end, we also have, as I mentioned earlier, the open mic session. We can strictly, for example, look at some point at only the net profitable, not really looking at the win rate aspect of things. It's something for the group to decide. So yeah, again, congratulations guys. Feel free to message me after the stream, and I'll give you guys the password to fill out the form. Awesome. David, would you like to comment up a little bit on this one, or should I go further?
No, congratulations to everybody. Thank you very much for everybody that participated. It's good to see so many. Incubate.trade is starting to fill up nicely. Yeah, thank you for everything, and congratulations to everybody. Like Vlad said, any suggestions on how we can improve this process? There already are some improvements that me and Vlad have been through this morning that were suggested through this month and put in place as of this month. Most of the new rules have been added already to the Elite Backtesters page, so you'll be able to see that. Yeah, so congratulations to everybody, and we will do our best to make the actual full process better as we go along. There also is, like I said, to everybody that might be worried that their old strategies are now performing extremely well, there is also a quarterly competition where we're going to go through all of the quarter results very soon as well.
I should imagine
David,
it's very
question.
soon.
Yeah, hi Marco.
Hi, good afternoon. A question. How is decided who are the winners? That's not
So
clear for me.
okay, so currently it's each month it's the profit. It's been the only way that we can really judge. It's the 2 months of January and February. Obviously, February is only partial because we're only 13 days in. But it's the profit that strategy has produced. As long as it fits all of the rules of the elite backtesters. There were a couple that are making a lot more, but things like leverage marks and things like that were not buying by the rules, so they were taken out. And number of trades and things like that are put into place as well. Vlad goes through and counts the trades, counts the profitability from the number of trades that are made. And that's how it works at the moment. Like I said, and Vlad said earlier, we're always looking for suggestions. It's quite hard to judge as it's such a small period. It's only 1 month, 1 full month that we're judging on. That's why we'd like any suggestions for the quarterly one, because we'd like that to be a lot more stricter and give the prizes to the right people.
Okay, question, because in the past you often said, okay, we're looking to the most active users, people.
Yes.
But with that, you mean not active, but most sent strategies or best performing strategies then instead of most active users? How do I see that?
Okay, so there's going to be several competitions. Like I said, most active as helping each other out. There'll be a prize for that quarterly. Like I said, most active number of good strategies sent. Obviously, you can see by Gentle Sir. That's prized because he's had 4 out of
Exactly.
his 10 setups that are sent that have each earned $50 each. So that works as, but that will be also taken into consideration for a bigger prize on the quarterly prize as well. I'm trying to put categories in place, a bit like a Ghana or whatever, where we'll have categories for each part of the elite backtesters, and we'll give a prize for each part of those. Like I said, if anybody's got any great ideas, I'd love to know. But yeah, those prizes are still in place and will be given.
Okay, and you're looking to incubate to see how they are performing?
Everyone is being incubated, yes. All of them are being incubated.
But
Sorry.
how do you mean it? Everything is incubated because around 25% from the added strategies is not set up correct, so you can't see their performance because no trades are locked.
Okay, there was a problem. There is a dev.incubate.trade which I'm working on with William at the moment. There wasn't 25%. We've been through them with William yesterday and the day before when you noticed it to us. Like I said, there's going to be a new feature on the incubate.trade, which allows me to add manually any missed trades and put them in orange, which I discussed last week with everybody. If there was a missed trade because we didn't set up the webhook correctly, because there was a couple of strategies that weren't set up properly, that those trades will be added manually.
Yeah, but we all don't have access to the dev version, but only can see the live version. There are around 20-25% strategies shown with 0 trades.
Okay.
So those are not set up correct. How can we monitor those strategies then?
The only thing you can do, Marco, is wait until I release the dev.elite back the dev to everybody so that they can see at that point. I was going to release it last night. I sent it to Rudy. There was a bug that he fixed this morning for me. So I hope to get it released this evening. And you'll be able to see the difference if there's any difference. 25. I don't think there was 25. I think William's in here. He fixed them. There certainly didn't seem to be 25. Yeah, I do, but.
Please watch the live version, and there you see around 20 or 25 strategies that show 0 results.
The 25. Do you mean 25 back test results or forward test results? Because the
25 results that show when you sort on profit. Then you see 20 or 25 strategies that show 0 result. So
0 live trade.
I haven't.
Because there's a big number that are still inactive and haven't had any trades that me and William have been through. We've been through all of them. One last night. I think it was actually 2 days ago. I say last night, it was 2 days ago. We went through them one by one to make sure that they were all working. And there are a large number that haven't had any trades, which is expected. There's going to be some that are overfitted. There's some that are going to take no trades whatsoever. There's going to be other ones that will. Yeah, I think that we found 5 or 6 trading strategies that were set up incorrectly, which. Yeah, like we keep saying, it was human, added by a human. Unfortunately, it happened, but it's not going to kill any of us. We're going to push forward to make it not happen each time. And yeah, I will add them manually.
Okay, I will check them because I thought I checked them and I saw they all have trades, but maybe then so much strategies do not yet have trades. I can't imagine that, but I will check to be sure.
Okay.
The other thing is, what about strategies that are still not added? Because I've mentioned it a lot of times. I missed 5 or 6 strategies. I know Igorek, for example, also. They are not shown now in the competition to see if they can be a winner. Like, for example, I now see Adok is winning, but he is using a version from me and a little bit modified. But my original settings are not included in this incubate. So I'm curious why that is still not done.
I have no answer for you. I have to speak to Vlad about it. I'm sure that all of the ones that are on Discord are inside incubate.trade, except for Forex strategies that I considered overfitted or underfitted because they didn't have deep backtest results, or like the ones that we discussed last week where I was on a live stream, I picked up a chart and the chart wasn't great on a deep backtest or even a backtest of strategies.
These are crypto strategies, which
Okay.
I had sent to him in private, which were missing probably around 2 weeks ago. Settings from October and November, and I mentioned it also 1 or 2 times in Discord. In general, you saw that also.
I understand, Marco. I understand, Marco. I don't know where they are. I can only ask Vlad. That's why we've put the form in place with the Google Forms, because obviously I'm not sure where those ones are. Does Vlad, do you know where they are, or can they be sent to me so that I can add them? I'm sure
I'll double check, but I did check at some point. I mean, I think last week or last 2 weeks, because this question was asked indeed again. So at some point I did filter, let's say not a lot, but not a few equity curves that didn't make sense to track for the whole point of this group, to elite backtesters, to actually find profitable setups. I'm not saying your setups, Marco, were into that, but I'll definitely take a look again at the setups, because again, we don't delete setups. They are still inside in Discord if they were put at some point. If you remember the Discord dump zone of only optimizer settings, I'll gladly take a look at them again to see if I find anything reliable. Other than that, if there is anything else, feel free to send me the chart link. And if it's not repeating, I mean, if it wasn't submitted again, I'll gladly put up together as of now.
The
Yes,
only
but
thing that I can
now
offer
the
is
prices
that you,
are
I don't
sorry, now
understand
the
you guys.
prices are now the prices are here already. While my original strategy is the one that ADOC modified, and that is the second place.
That's
So
a
I'm
different thing.
surprised that it's
Different discussion.
yes.
yeah,
No,
like I
I'm
said,
not sure.
if we know that there's if we know, I'll speak to A-Dog. Like I said, if in many streams before, if it's one that's been modified, I'll speak to him and say to him that it's a co-built one. The prize will be split between two people. If there is a missing link, missing charts, or like you said, those couple of charts that you've got, if you don't mind, just submit them directly to me, Marco. I'll add them, and if they have performed better than any of the other ones, or anybody else here, that any other ones, I will definitely give you the same price. There's no filtering by us, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately. This idea come from nowhere, and we're just building the systems around it as we go along. With the main objective to provide the absolute best trading strategies we possibly can to everybody as a group, as a community. I'm not in it for trying to save money or give somebody like or less or whatever it is, or filter out ones. Not in the slightest. It's a human error. It's made a mistake at the beginning because we've dumped them all into Discord. If you have those ones and they're performing better, please send them to me. I'd love to add them to the incubate.trade, and I certainly will put you up for the prizes where you deserve them. Yeah, definitely. I'll put the prizes. I'll put my money where my mouth is, as you say. If they're performing better, I want them on the incubate.trade, and I will give you the prizes, definitely. I'll double the prizes. It makes no difference.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. I sent you Marco a message. I'll come later to you with a resolution after the stream. Is that okay?
It's okay, Vlad.
Okay, awesome.
Fantastic.
Any other I don't know, commenting or something like that? Any other ideas regarding the pricing or anything?
Cool. For me, like I said, it certainly isn't trying to take any prize from me, but I'm extremely happy with the amount of people that we're allowed to reward. It's absolutely fantastic. If anybody has any better ideas to improve the algorithm of well, it's not even an algorithm, the way that we prize these. This is a community, guys. Your input is extremely valuable to us, and would love to improve this process. And I want to give the ones that are working a give them access to everything. And I think with that said, Vlad, we can move on to the questions that are in the chat.
Definitely, if there are anything regarding the pricing, I have a suggestion for Incubate platform. If you don't mind, KCTN, suggestions, complaints, and again, suggestions. We have an open mic session at the very end of the Elite Backtesters show, when we can also. It's just that some people are. How can I say so I don't offend anybody? Let me just finish with the presentation. I don't have much to say about it, and we are going to review all the suggestions and complaints and anything else regarding David Tech. It's just like it's a nicer structure to have everything into 2 or 3 categories, so people, when they later watch this, they will have to don't jump if they're interested into one only subject, and then just have to browse within the stream to see from where we should pick up and everything else. Okay, cool. Thank you very much for understanding. Right. So again, here is the table with the winners. I'll sort it out at the end, right after we close this webinar and speak with everybody regarding their prizes. If there are no other questions regarding the charting and everything else, but maybe suggestions towards the future, which we will take them at the end of the presentations, I would like to jump next with the new summit that happened as of last week, since I believe like 2 hours ago or something like that, when I started to build up the presentation for now. So, oh no, restore connection. I opened earlier a few more charts to check if everything is okay. Trust me, guys, I checked everything. I know how much time is put through incubation, through manual incubation. I mean, you guys were waiting us up until now with the incubator trade and checking on your spreadsheets and everything like that. We are trying to make everything as best as possible. I don't think there is a perfect way. There will always be room to improvement, at least. And yeah, it's a very newborn project. I mean, right now I think we're moving towards like 6 months or something like that. We also have the let's say general review about everything. And yeah, without your help, guys, this cannot be possible. I'll tell you that. It's not a one-man job. It's like one community full of men and women, so we won't discriminate, of course. Job. Yeah, so back to the setups. We have an AVAX on against USDT on 30 minutes, the dead zone V5. Net profit close to 400%. Close trades a great amount, if you ask me, 850 for total close trades. The percentage profitable looks great, if you ask me, 71%. You are winning a couple more, you're losing a couple less. However, take under the consideration that the strategy uses multiple take profits. So kindly expect like not every trade to be like 2 winners and 1 loss and so on. There is also the aspect of multiple take profits, which unfortunately there is nothing really we can do. It's a platform limitation. I'm not trying to blame on TradingView or something like that. It's just at the moment this is a limitation that's we are trying to fix, but we cannot come as of yet with a solution. If you, David, want to speak up a little bit about multiple take profits, if not, I'll gladly jump further with the
Sure.
these
So,
setups.
as Vlad said, my mic's on, isn't it? You can hear me? Yeah, you can hear me.
I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So, like Vlad said, it's just TradingView the way that they calculate each win. When you have multiple take profits, it's considered each profit level. So, if you have 3 take profits, you have 3 levels. Each level is a win if you hit each of those levels. So, unfortunately, they calculate that in the win rate and the number of closed trades. So you always have to be careful when using multiple take profits on TradingView.
Thanks,
That's it,
Dave.
really. No problem.
Awesome. Oh yeah, the maximum drawdown a little high if you ask me, 22%, but again, that's very manageable with the positioning sizing and the leverage that you guys can and want to use. The next one on Bitcoin, unfortunately, another inactive one. Didn't have any trade since it was submitted towards the form. It's one of our newest strategies, the gun arbitrage, on 1 hour on BTC again. The net profit above 900%, which is great. Total close trades a little low, 67. Definitely wanted like at least 100, but it is what it is. If it's working, it's working. Let's just check the incubation stage after a while. So it could be maybe 1 week, maybe 2 weeks until the strategy has any trade, since it's like on 1 hour and already the trades are pretty rare, I should imagine. Right, the percentage profitable definitely should expect like 1 win and 1 loss in the future. Maybe there are 2. There'll also be 2 wins, and maybe in the end there will be more wins than losses. And maximum drawdown above 30%, a little higher if you ask me than let's say the average good to go if that's a good way to call them, but yeah, it can further be reduced. Right, next one on dead zone, XRP Ripple, 15 minutes, dead zone V5, net profit 43%. I believe this strategy doesn't have any leverage applied to it. It's great, it doesn't matter, honestly. Again, it's something for the user that submits to me. That's his strategy. I have no right in modifying that strategy and maybe destroy it or maybe improving it. You don't know. It's just that I want you guys to do it on your own. It's more like a DIY project. You guys can further improve it and send it back to me. However, don't forget to include the, let's say, the guy who came up with the original setting. Because yeah, as somebody else in the chat says, a little of goodwill is required here, bro. End of quote. So yeah, the percentage profitable 58%, definitely again in the win one lose one and maybe at the end win two kind of situation. Maximum drawdown 9%, definitely can go a little higher with the leverage, maybe ×2 or something like that, and the profit will also scale as well, of course paying a little more to the extra drawdown, but again, that's something for the user to decide, whatever the management of risk is for each and everybody. Next one, again, an inactive one, didn't have any trade since it was submitted to me. On 1 hour on Bitcoin, the top G, again, one of our newest strategies, 877 net profit, that's looking great. 148 trades on 1 hour. It really depends on the kind of strategy that is. I do see the months are pretty active, so it's not like having just one trade a month or something like that. It's somewhat active, like I see maybe like a couple trades within a month. So yeah, definitely looking forward for developing this one as well. Win rate close to 52%. Again, win one, lose one. Maximum drawdown a little high, if you ask me, 38%. But again, that's for you guys to decide. Next one. This one is on, again, dead zone V5, one of our, let's say, mid-term strategy in order of publishing. One of very popular, I should imagine. I always have at least one dead zone whenever I'm doing this session with you guys, which is great. That's a hint for the newcomers. Definitely try to pick up on the dead zone. Might be a little friendlier to optimize. That's another great point to mention. And yeah, on 50 minutes, a pretty custom time frame, I should imagine. The net profit is 104%, the percentage profitable is 62%, and the maximum drawdown 24%. The equity curve is definitely not the friendliest, I should say. However, since we have like above 200 close trades in total, I should definitely imagine somebody like maybe one of our more experienced users optimizing this and coming up with a more filtered, let's say, version. Again, guys, don't forget to leave credit to the original user. Cool. Another one, again, by the same user. Hello, Danny, if you are here. If not, I hope you watch the restream. The equity curve looks a lot better. The net profit 188. It's still the Bitcoin on 50 minutes, the dead zone V5. Total close trades, again, that's a little more filtered one, 83 trades. I believe he also submitted this one. Maybe he was like his base settings like from where he started. So I suppose there shouldn't be any problem like picking up from that kind of setup and try to improve it. And again, leave credits towards the user that you inspired from. And the maximum drawdown, a really good one, a respectable one of just below 15%. Looking great so far. Next one, which is an active one. I believe, if I'm sure and I'm pretty confident I am, it was submitted to me like in this period over here. We have 3 wins in a row and just 1 loss, which is great. Definitely better than the expected, let's say, win rate. So maybe a couple losses will happen in the future. Let's just put it into incubation and see how it develops in the future, because we have a really short time available. Like, for example, maybe this setup was submitted to me 3 or 4 days ago, something like that. In this case, it's like, I believe on 13th, it's just 6 days. We have just 4 trades within this kind of low time of period. The win rate really helps us to determine if the strategy is overfitted. For example, if the win rate claims something like 80% percent win rate, and then we have immediately like 10 losses in a row or something like that, definitely something is rotten right there, and just don't live trade it like immediately. Just wait for it. Maybe, but that's really rare, close to maybe impossible, but for the sake of argument, just keep it as very rare than to have like 20 or 40 wins in a row. Very, very rare, close to impossible, I should imagine. But yeah, net profit above 500%, total close trades. Yeah, on the another one, the AMX USDT on 30 minutes, the GDODA, one of our newest strategies, the net profit again above 500%, total close trades definitely looking great, healthy at least 247. The win rate is for 53%, looking great, and the maximum drawdown on 22. I suppose it's in the manageable, let's say, sector of overall people that like to algo trade. I guess there are people that will like it a lot lower. Again, that can be adjusted with the leverage factor, but overall, it's looking amazing. And also the fact that it's active, just everything looks by the book so far. Definitely leave it to incubation, maybe a couple more weeks to see if the future trades still are happening within the margin of the win rate. That's a huge factor. And also you can take a look at Sortino ratio, the Sharp ratio. That's depending on your style as a trader and the risk management that you are also involved in, I suppose. Right. A new kind of setup, which is on US 100. Amazing to see, guys, different, let's say, setups on other than crypto pairs. Unfortunately, this one is inactive. I believe it was submitted to me when this loss happening. Maybe it was right in between or just after this win over here. It's just one loss that happens, nothing to worry about. The win rate is 50%. The scenario of one loss and one win, or maybe 2 losses and 2 wins, is definitely within the books, so nothing to really worry about. The net profit is 15%, maybe a little lower comparing to the crypto setups that we guys have. However, I know there are some brokers which allow leverage, so you can definitely scale this one as far as craziness goes, available by the platform you're actually trading. The total close trades, considering it's a 4-hour strategy, maybe it's a little lower. I personally don't trade stocks, bonds, indices, and gold and whatever. I'm more like a crypto only trader. So I'm not really sure that 182 trades is reliable for a 4-hour strategy on other than crypto. But yeah, that's the equity curve at least looks very healthy. So that's at least one good point, right? The maximum drawdown just above 2%, which again, I'm not a stocks, indices, and whatever trader. I'm not very expertise to talk about it. That's something for you guys to decide if you are considering going live with its strategy. Anyway, congratulations to the user. As far as my eye tends to kind of check this, it looks healthy. That's my expertise, you should say. Another setup, which is an interesting one, would be on Bitcoin on 5 minutes. This one is inactive. I will. This one. I'm sorry. This one is actually active. It was submitted to me like in between this period and just had one win so far. So definitely expect like maybe putting it into some kind of incubation on a longer term or maybe shorter term, depending on if this win rate tends to stay. definitely consider going live with it. Again, that's something for you to decide. The net profit is just close to 70%, close trades 17, maybe lower than expected, but still, if it stays, it stays. The percentage profitable, which is the win rate, is 70%, which is great if you ask me. And the maximum drawdown of 22, maybe a little higher considering it's a low frequency strategy. However, for this kind of, like, let's say higher risk, I should say, strategies, some users tend to like throw $100 and leave it with 100% capital, again depending on how much $100 is worth for you, and just leave it in case the strategy proves to be profitable in the end. The fact that you're using maybe a high leverage as well, it will scale like crazy, but take care guys, trade with caution. You are responsible for your financial decisions. Right, next one, on one of our newest strategies, the Flashpoint, on 30 minutes on Solana. Unfortunately, this one is an inactive one. It was submitted to me in between this period. The net profit is looking good. I mean, 547%. Total close trades amazing. Like, I could say it's above average. Definitely 776 on 30 minutes. We have a 55 percentage profitable, which is the win rate. So definitely in the scenario of 1 win and 1 loss, maybe some here and there, 2 wins and 1 loss. And yeah, maximum drawdown just above 24, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower. That's 100% for you to decide. Going into the next one, this one is different. However, the equity curve looks a bit the same, but it's again on different coin and another user, so I definitely shouldn't expect to be a problem right here. On 15 minutes on Rune, on Botify, the net profit is just above 200%. Equity curve at the beginning doesn't look that great. However, the strategy pretty much picked up. Feel free to try to invest some time into optimizing. But again, if you're submitting it to the Elite Backtesters group, definitely leave at least like a mention of the original user from which you guys have inspired. You do have a wiggle room since it's like 15 minutes and the total close trades are 228. So there is a wiggle room of like improving, like maybe you do cut like 20 trades, which let's say you would reduce the maximum drawdown as well, but lose a little bit of profit. But again, if we are really I'm looking for the word, really into optimizing strategies, I do see this one to be a potential one, maybe for optimizing, but also for live trading, depending on the active or the live data that incubate that trade shows, to actually put it to work, I suppose. Next one on Bitcoin, 1 hour, the dead zone, again, one of our, let's say, mostly active submissions. The net profit is 128%, amazing. On 1 hour to have close to 600 trades, that's great. As we can see, the strategy is pretty much active all the time, so we could maybe like cut like 100 trades. We could also reduce the maximum drawdown as well. The win rate is 71%, which is great. Equity curve, not so great at the beginning. Again, it can be further optimized. There is a lot, not really a lot, but a considerable amount of wiggle room to maybe improve the strategy. Again, don't forget to give credits towards the original user. Maximum drawdown of 24. Again, somewhere in the neighborhood of, let's say, medium. And yeah, the next one. The next one doesn't look so great in the fact of equity curve. However, the user told me, I believe it's the correct one, that the strategy, he put it into incubation as of here. It tends to be profitable like from then. Definitely expect, guys, this to be like hard incubated before going in live with it. And yeah, see how it goes in the future. Also, the maximum drawdown is a little high, so yeah, I'm not very keen on this one. However, if it's reliable in the future, like who knows, right? Net profit would be 17, a little lower than the ones I showed earlier. There isn't much room for leverage applied because of the already high, let's say, maximum drawdown. I just added it just because the user friendly told me that he already has it into an incubation stage, and maybe let's say the market condition changed. We are really into more like a bullish stage of the market. So that's why maybe the strategy could be a winner in the future with further optimization as well. Right, getting close to the final. This one on Solana on 45 minutes. McGinley trend followers, one of our, again, newest strategies. Net profit just above 550%. Total close trades 935. A considerable amount considering it's just a 45-minute strategy. Definitely a lot of improvement that can happen as well. Maybe we can reduce the drawdown over here, something like that, and try to scan for market conditions that happened from here all till here. Maybe let's say the market was downtrending, or maybe the RSI on 1 hour was very bearish or something like that, so we would know when to actually stop algo trading if we see some kind of correlance between the strategy and a higher time frame indicator, or maybe just how the price looks like. Hey, we had just a huge dump, I should really stop the strategy because based on the data, then the strategy is pretty much broken or it doesn't perform that well. Definitely something to consider investing some time into it as well. The win rate is lower than 50%, 44%, so definitely expect here and there some 2 losses and 1 wins, but not very frequently. And the maximum drawdown of below 20, 18%, which is great if you ask me. Again, definitely room for improvement over here because of the large amount of, maybe it's not large because nobody can tell exactly what large is. I'm sorry, but yeah, definitely a considerable amount of of total close trades and wiggle room for improvement. And the last one on Solana again, 30 minutes. The Nadaria Bollinger Bands strategy, again a newer strategy. 1,000 net profit over on 1,000, which is great. Definitely wish to see how the strategy performs in the future. The close trades is 79. Maybe at least 100 would have been a lot better, but still the percentage profitable is 63%. So in the end, we are getting like more than 1 win and 1 loss if you take like a step back and look at the table on the left. And yeah, maximum drawdown a little high, 31%. Maybe something like happened within this period over here that the strategy didn't like, I suppose, on the larger time frame. Definitely putting it into incubation and maybe check time to time how Solana goes, and the relationship between the price and the equity curve could also help you guys maybe to reduce these kind of maximum drawdowns that tends to happen. Right. That's it with the setups that they were submitted to me. So we have like 2 or 3 active ones, which is great. Nice to see active setups that, again, active means that had trade in between the period when they were submitted to me and the period when the show happens, this show over here, and the win rate is let's say respected. So for example, if there is a 50% win rate and there are just 5 losses, that's definitely an inactive setup. If however there is 1 win, or maybe 1 win and 1 loss, that's definitely in the books. The win rate is respected, and yeah, the incubation will also tell us the proper picture of the strategy. Yeah, so these are the new submits. If I skipped anybody, please check your DMs, because I messaged like 3 or 4 people so far on this regarding this session. Some of them didn't share their chart. Some of them had, I mean, one had the older version of the boilerplate, and having an older version, you are very limited to some factors. For example, version 4 doesn't have Simplebot, if I remember correctly. Version 3, I believe it's an older version of PineScript, if I'm correct. If David would like to jump in and discuss about the versions at the end of the presentation to have you guys a proper opinion on versions. Or now, if you want David to add a few words, I see that you are unmuted.
No, carry on. I thought you were going to ask a question. That was all. No, I just unmuted just in case. Carry on.
We can speak about the versions and why we not say tend to like newest versions, but yeah, there's of course bug fixes and everything. However, if you guys see a strategy that is not updated or doesn't have a newer version, rather than, let's say, version 4 or 3 or something like that, definitely message us in the general chat or in the private messages, and we will gladly update those if possible, of course. Exactly what I talked about, a little attention. If you can also check my screen share, check your DMs if you don't see your setup. If there is any mistake, if the chart was on share but I unintentionally skipped it, just let me know and I'll gladly fix that as of next presentation. Great. So next week we don't have anything else but the new February submits. If you guys provide us any feedback regarding the charting of December and we discuss about it inside the group and come up with some new changes, I'll definitely update you guys as of next week, or maybe at the end of February when we are doing the review of January, I should imagine. And yeah, that's pretty much it with the new stuff. I would like to do a short presentation for people that have no idea what I'm really talking about the elite backtesters. If they are new, if they're interested but don't really know what is this, basically, it's pretty much a group created by the group that we are focused on backtesting David strategies, and not only with the help of Botify, just load a couple indicators. If the indicators are coded in a matter of tracking maybe tags, values, and so on, you can definitely track them with Botify and create strategies, and we can also add them to Incubator Trade, our platform of let's say recording the strategies into one place. All the setups that are provided for the group stays inside the group. The main goal of the group in numbers, if you ask me to do like one sentence and that's it, would be to have one script being optimized on 5 timeframes by 100 people who spend together 278 hours. That would mean a close total of about 100 million possible good setups. So if you guys would like to join, if there is any newcomer that doesn't have any idea how to join, feel free to DM me. You get, again, exclusive access to the project if you're joining. And as I shown earlier, there is a prize pool of more now of $1,000 thanks to the Elite Plus / Ultimate contributors towards the group. Now, open discussions. If you guys would like to talk about anything related to David Tech, anything related to elite backtesters that was not shown within the presentation, now it's the proper time, I suppose. I suppose, Marco, you want to pick up from where you left?
I'd just like to say once again, congratulations to everybody who won. It's nice to see. I'd like to give a bit of gratitude back to everybody and say it's nice to see so many people. It's nice to see so many elite backtesters in this short, this project that was only born a couple of months ago. I think it's about 5 months now in total. The community is great. I know that we've opted for an open support channel. We replies to DMs and things like that, but I generally try to do all of the support either in live chats like today or in the general chat. So so sometimes there are questions that are hard to reply to. There's another one that's in the chat at the moment that I will reply to now. But in general, it's generally quite a positive vibe community, and I'm very, very proud of where we've come from, guys. So thank you very much for everything, and congratulations to everybody. It's great fun being here. Guild King had a question about profitable trading strategies. Apparently, he's sent you a couple of what he says you've said maybe overfitted strategies, Vlad. I haven't actually seen them myself, Guild. The thing is that we've actually moved over to a Google form now, so that me, William, and Vlad can judge the strategies whether they're overfitted or not. I totally understand that the optimization of trading strategies is a complicated world. I understand that it is not easy to find good setups. My suggestion is, number one, download the settings from the Davidtech, like the default settings that you can find inside of like when you're adding a trading strategy from the Discord. There's always a CSV file in there. I'm also adding a couple more this week that I found myself into that group, so you'll be able to find a couple more settings in there, and use those as base settings to improve upon and make better. Igor, who is a very active member in our community, has written an absolutely wonderful PDF which explains each step of the optimization that he does. Yesterday, I was on a stream myself, and I decided to change my methods of optimizations to do exactly the same as he does. And it's in one... I'm not sure who clapped, but yeah. I did one optimization last night, left it over, and managed to find a trading setup which managed to get a very nice equity curve, 500% profit in back testing. Obviously, it needs to go through the forward testing periods and all of that kind of thing. He has a different way of looking at it that is very logical. He puts all of the settings back to almost a zero, so as if you're almost doing a spot trading strategy, and then optimizes. Well, I'll let you go through the PDF. It's in the What's New app area here. Vlad's also going to be doing a couple of lives to go through how to optimize and those kind of things. I'll be there. There'll be William as well to help you. And yeah, I can't. We can't just open the elite backtesters to everybody, although I'd love to, but there has to be. It's kind of always been a very, very good, very, very much from the beginning. Everybody gives as much as they possibly can to get back as such. So it's sort of a sharing idea. But I certainly am here to help you with your algo trading journey as such. I often start with ATR, portfolio 5%. Yeah, that's the kind of... Marco's just gone through the whole of his way of optimizing in much detail there. That's kind of very similar to what's in Igor's PDF as well. So yeah. Okay, great. If you fill out that form, Gilda, I will give you access. You also, I can see that your name's in green, so you're not even a elite recruit. If you become an elite recruit, you get access to lots of other bits and bobs as well. That'll help you on your journey. So you have to go to the elite backtesters inside a Discord, and you'll be able to find that room, and you'll be able to get access to other bits and bobs like PDFs and things like that as well. Okay. There is one humongous thing, is that we get a lot of setups sent to us which have been optimized on a very small amount of data because not everybody has the full packages of TradingView. Unfortunately, that leads to a nice equity curve on most people's screen. And then when you backtest it a little bit further, it doesn't look great. So I think that's a lot of people's problems. All we can do to help to do it on that is to be Vlad's online with William and myself every day for an hour. We can deep backtest your trading strategies for you, help you in that 1 hour. If you want to talk longer, we'll stay on longer, but we're always there to try and help you. I've been messaged directly, Vlad, but the backtesters don't match. Yeah, that probably is what's going on. All this is, I don't know if you've got the larger package on TradingView, but it may be. You requested it since November. I tell you what, Guild, I'll do it for you now. You'll come up in light green, which means that you're part of the recruits. Which welcome to the Elite Backtesters recruits. We'll help you. All I can do is help you. I'll help you to find settings. We'll help you to integrate into the group. And Marco has just sent you a thread as well where you can find more information. I have submitted a few times, still don't get access to this Elite Backtesters. Now, FR, okay. Vlad's just looking now to see if he can see. FR, forms still don't get access to Elite Backtesters. Now, as I said, no problem, Guild, no problem whatsoever. You're part of the recruits. As I said, Vlad's having a look at the moment. If you submitted at the beginning of this month, you get access at the end of the month. It could be that. Other than that, the only thing that I could say is maybe the setup. Vlad, have you got any messages from FR yourself? Vlad.
Sorry, I was unmuted.
No.
I see that his setups were for January, so he should have access as of February. Let me check.
I can see you're a recruit, FR, so have a look.
I'll note and look after the presentations. I have again that flickering monitor problem, and I'm also trying to find the Guild Kings.
Okay, William's found them.
Sources as well.
You haven't
Okay.
you haven't filled out the form on incubate.trade, FR. As soon as you fill out the form, you get access to the Elite Backtesters.
Mm-hmm.
Because your name's in a darker blue anyway, so you just need to fill out the form there. I can have a look now. I'll have a look now to make sure. Elite Backtesters.
I also filled already.
Yeah, I'm just having a look now to see if I can see your username somewhere on there. FR. So you would have been FR84.
Yeah, that's him.
FR84. I can see that you have submitted 2 charts this month. You submitted on the third. No, you submitted at the beginning of this month. So it's this month's you get access to. So you get access at the end of this month. Yeah, the position mastery trend you submitted. Let me have a look also at the other one here. The other form to see if I can see you there. Access to incubate.trade. Okay, no, there's you filled out the form. If I know you are there, and it says that you have an account. I'm going to send you a reminder for your password.
Excuse me, David. William just said that he sent you an email with the access. but you must have skipped or something like that. FR, can you check your inbox?
Yeah, Williams just said it. You were given access on the 29th of the 1st. I can see your account there. So maybe in your spam or something like that, mate.
Great.
Great. Okay, fantastic. Yep, so like I said, that's great. Somebody else is writing as well. Will it send within 24 hours?
Arjan, I think you have submitted just now. I mean, for this week only, if I'm not mistaken. So that would mean you'll get access as of March if you haven't submitted so far. Yeah, you'll get access as of March when we do the monthly review. Guys, please take some time to check the rules because it's a little hard for us to check with everybody and within the DMs, within the forums as well. So please just check the rules now and then because we're also constantly updating. We also update you guys if there is any kind of change of rules. And yeah, so you would be informed and us don't have to like worry about missing anybody from the group. Thank you very much.
Question, is there an overview with all current rules so all new people can see what the exact rules are?
Sure. So we updated the rules. I update and add the rules as I go along to the Elite Backtesters room. They haven't changed humongously since the beginning. We've added things like the equity curve must be profitable on a deep back test. Obviously, Vlad, somebody asked why we didn't go through deep back tests on live streams. Some of the settings were sent to us yesterday or this morning and things like that. So Vlad only has a small amount of time to be able to go through all of them. Maybe a deep back test we can do sometime other times, but these charts are all available to everybody to be able to press the deep back test. But we do deep back test them all before validating and adding them to incubate.trade.
Exactly.
A healthy equity curve is required, meaning pretty much as it says about the deep back test, we can't have great big red dips in the middle of a equity curve. We can't go down, have a max drawdown of 50 or 60%, even though I was on live stream the other day and a couple of people picked out one or two strategies which didn't look great at all, either on normal tests or deep back tests. So the equity curve does have to look as a healthy equity curve. It's hard to say what a healthy equity curve is, but just here on a microphone, I mean. But I think that when you look at an equity curve, you can tell yourselves whether it's really worth actually submitting or not. Strategies must have the filter date backtest turned off, so it can't be just a small date range. Leverage, the leverage you must ensure that the leverage line is always above or below the stop loss, depending on whether you're taking shorts or longs. There's a screenshot in there. And then there's the general rules as we set up at the beginning. You have to submit at the beginning of the month, but throughout the month, and you get access to incubate.trade and the Elite Backtesters results at the end of the month, giving us enough time to set them all up for everybody. And that's just how we done it from the beginning, and seems fair for everybody. And they're all on the page, which is called Elite Backtesters in David Tech. You can see all of the rules there.
Yeah, I was just checking, but for example, thought we agreed to do this month also like block trades when stop loss is before liquidation, or when liquidation is before stop loss. But I didn't saw that.
There's a screenshot and everything in there.
Is there?
It's there. I put it on there. Let me go back. Let me double check. But there's a message that says, please ensure the leverage line is always below the stop loss. And okay, so I need to put edit it and add
It's not there.
checkbox. It says please ensure the leverage line is always above or below the stop loss. So I need to check block
Oh yeah, no
trades.
screenshot, but only text here, and I now see
Yeah,
it. Yes.
okay. Sorry, mate. Check.
No problem.
I'll turn. What I'll do is I'll write it afterwards. Otherwise, I'm not going to write this correctly. But I will write on there. Please check the checkbox. Block trades if liquidation line is above or below.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other thing I like to discuss again. I know I told it in the past. Considering a maximum stop loss to use in the strategies. You still do not like to include that in the rules?
My big problem with that rule is when we're going up to a 4-hour time frame or a daily time frame, although we don't have any daily time frames in there yet. There was a couple of people in there. Those stop losses are going to be considerably higher than a 5-minute time frame, a 15-minute time frame. It may be something that we talk about for prizes, but I certainly don't want to eliminate those trading strategies from adding them to incubate.trade to see how they perform. Personally, it might be for me. It might be something that somebody here would like to trade, and it just gives them that opportunity to find a trading strategy that they can easily set up.
Yes, but as you know, I always prefer a small stop loss.
Yes.
When I see this, then I can imagine. Okay, I create from now on only strategies that have for maximum, for example, a maximum stop loss from 20%. Then you have a big range to never lose trades. A very big chance to get a lot of profit. But when trading such strategies live, you mentally will become crazy.
Of course, yeah.
And you can't afford to have a drawdown like 10 or 15% or 20%. So you almost never can't lose. But when you then compare strategies that have much better risk management, then the chances is that you will earn less profit. But when these rules are not considered, then I'm considering to only optimize with the incubation rules, for example, and can have stop losses like 15% or 20%. So I think personally that's not correct rule.
I understand what you're saying. It's a hard one. Maybe we can have a maximum stop loss per time frame or something like that. Yeah, I see your point. There's always going to be ways.
Sorry,
no, Karen.
Yeah, go on. Because you now have strategies that show good for several months, but the stop loss is like when you check it, like 8% or something like that, and you make 1,000% profit. And it's great, but do we want that? It's really something that you need to consider, because I think, okay, then I'm going to optimize one setting a month with such big stop losses like a lot of people are doing, but I think it's not the right way. We want to have strategies with good risk management and not with such big stop losses. It's like, how serious are we? And I can imagine that opinions differ, and it is a really difficult task, but you have to keep that in mind. But because when I make a strategy with a 30 or 40% stop loss, I will almost never lose and can make big profits.
Sure.
And then I send 10 strategies and I win each month. That's not what we want.
No, of course, yeah. I see what you're saying. I can totally understand. It makes sense. I agree with you. I don't know how we go about it, because, like I said, it would be still nice to have those day trading strategies or on the daily time frames. Yet there isn't that many.